Welcome to Bastard Quest. I'm the Game Bastard Kyle.
I am Todd.
Corey.
I'm Austin.
Today we are playing ACHTUNG Cthulhu again, which if you don't know what that is a 2D20 system game from Modiphius. It's Cthulhu and World War Cthulhu.
I don't know what that is.
You're fighting Mythos, Nazis, and World War II.
I think still to this day my favorite 2D20 game.
It's up there for me for sure. It's a lot of fun. It's definitely my favorite Cthulhu game. I'll say that.
Oh,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Because I really do not care for the percentile dial Cthulhu games. I don't like them.
Favorite Cthulhu game, and it's not even particularly close.
Yeah. I don't really die. Like, I'm ready for a game where we shoot free throws.
I don't know.
I'd be fucking terrible at it, but
I don't know what it is, but for whatever reason, and it's not all like in Call of Cthulhu. I know this also happened with the Warhammer 40k Dark Heresy system, which is a D100 system. For some reason, people seem like they tend to hate like D100 systems more than others. Not anything attached to the setting. It's like, I hate percentile systems.
right.
That would be an interesting psychological phenomena to
Not
examine.
really, but no, I don't like the Cthulhu games because usually you're armed with a pencil.
Well, is
And
that
you're just
because of
going to die?
Is that because just I'm an asshole, or is that the nature of the game?
Well, Kyle, is that an actual correlation there? I mean, percentile systems usually seem to be attached to games that are supposed to be quote unquote daunting.
Well, it could be because Dark Heresy, the Dark Heresy First Edition, is notoriously brutal.
Yeah, there you go.
The Stanford prison percentile dice experiment.
But obviously, ACHTUNG Cthulhu does not use that. It is a 2D20 system, meaning for most rolls, the players are going to roll 2D20s.
And it's set in World War II, so we got machine guns, boomerangs, all kinds of shit.
Yeah, normal stuff.
A dog with metal teeth.
Unlike D&D,
Yeah, that's the notable thing about him.
you want to roll low. A 1 is the best die result in the game, and a 1 is worth 2 successes. Anything under their difficulty number is a single success, and they're basically trying to get more successes than whatever the...
And there are things that can alter the crit range as well.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
we
for
got
sure.
our momentum, the meta currency, and threat. Is that the other one?
Yeah, the GM has threat. Players can build momentum. You guys also have fortune, I believe.
Yes.
We do.
Fortune
We do.
points. So now remember, in a normal game of ACHTUNG Cthulhu, those refresh every session, I believe. But the way we're playing it, it's going to refresh only over the course of the whole adventure. So
Okay.
a couple of individual Bastard Quest sessions.
Okay.
So this is a continuation of our Shadows of Atlantis campaign, which is a full-fledged campaign that Modiphius put out for ACHTUNG Cthulhu. I believe this is our third adventure in that campaign.
Yeah, we played this a few times. The first adventure was like a starter adventure. That's episodes 21 and 22.
Oh, that was a quick trip to France.
Yeah, and Austin's character died. So this is actually set before that.
Yeah.
Todd and I are playing the same characters. The previous episodes of that were 35, 36, 69, 70, 71, and 72. If you want to go back and listen to those.
And that section of episodes was our mission to Vienna to actually retrieve an artifact from a scientist. And then the second segment was in Rome.
Yes. So, who do you guys play in this completely historically accurate retelling of the Second World War?
I am Sven Nielsen, Dauntless Resistance Leader.
Cop killer.
Yes. I am a rune weaver.
Fuck 12.
I can...
Sven was a big influence in the rap scene in the early 1990s.
Absolutely.
In South Central Los Angeles.
Oh, yes. Hip hop evolved from Norway.
But Sven can do magics, and Sven is a very happy fellow. He loves everyone except for Nazis, particularly Black Sun. Sven loves people, Nazis not people. There's nothing Sven loves more than watching the light drain out of their eyes as they realize that they are facing an imminent death.
He's a good dude.
Good to have on your team.
Yeah.
All right, Corey, who do you play?
Well, I'm dual wielding characters. playing Corporal Sarah Walker. She's an Australian commando. She's tough as nails. She's got a lot of sass. She's a lot of fun. Pretty polite at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
And her trusty dog, Operly. He's a German Shepherd, and he's got psychic abilities.
Yeah.
Everybody
Operly.
loves Operly.
He's a good boy.
He's a psychic dog. I mean,
He's not bad.
yeah. Austin?
And I'm playing Pierre Walsh, the Canadian black market investigator.
He's an ancestor of John Walsh. his son was also kidnapped. Once every generation, the Walsh family has to have a son kidnapped.
It's the Walsh curse.
Canada's most wanted.
I'm essentially a spy.
Yeah, like private detective type.
Yeah, as we learned
Character.
on our last adventure.
Our scene opens with an image of a clear blue sky. The camera descends. We see billowing white clouds. In the distance, maybe a patch of brown desert. Soaring through those clouds like a silver bird is a DC-3 cargo plane. Bit dusty, rust around some of the screws. Every once in a while, a bit of black smoke comes out of one of the engines. Paint on the side of the words, Mossy Pete's definitely safe air service. It's based on Patreon member Mossy P. This plane is soaring through the sky, and then it suddenly lurches to the right, begins spiraling down towards the ground. We focus in on the plane. We see the door on the fuselage slam open. Rolling out is Pierre Walsh. He's got a black eye and a bloody lip, and lurching out after him is an armored Nachtwolf stormtrooper. So Pierre is sliding along the top of the wing as the plane veers toward the ground. This trooper is marching forward, taking laborious steps forward as his magnetic boots allow him to clamp onto the side. Following the plane from above is a black Nachtwolf Junkers G-38, from which this trooper and others descended. Inside, we hear a barking dog and the sounds of gunfire. So we're in combat. Of course, you don't roll initiative in ACHTUNG Cthulhu. The GM chooses a player to go first unless there's a really good reason for an NPC to go first. In this case, I'm going to spend 2 threat and let this Nachtwolf Stormtrooper go first.
God damn it. You start with threat, don't you?
I do. I started with 6.
And we start
Jesus.
with no momentum. Is that right?
That is correct.
Cool.
He's going to try to grab Pierre and throw him off the plane
Of course.
because that's dramatic.
So what's the situation here? I'm hanging on desperately to the wing, I assume.
You could let go. But one assumes you're hanging on by your fingertips, sliding down that aluminum fin.
Yeah.
The trooper has this big, elaborate mask on. He's breathing. You can hear
Any kind of breathing equipment on his back?
Yeah, of course. They descended from high altitude. So,
Okay.
And this will be an opposed test. So he's coming after you with his brawn and his athletics. What are you defending with?
I will defend with my agility and fighting and try to kind of outmaneuver him.
Cool.
So my target number is a 13.
He rolled 2 17s, and unfortunately his target number was not 18. So he got no successes.
I rolled 2 10s.
So you have 2 successes.
Yep.
So since you were defending, I mean, you could describe how you don't get thrown off, but you could also turn those into momentum if you wish.
Both successes?
Yeah, unless there's something else you want to do with them.
Can I spend a momentum to try and reverse the attack and try to throw him off?
Sure.
Okay. Would I need to roll anything additional for
Well,
that?
yeah, you'll have to make your own attack roll, but
Okay.
yeah.
I'll do that. I'll spend 1 momentum to reverse the attack, and I'll bank the other one.
Okay.
So he comes at me. I kind of position myself on my feet right as he gets to me, and as he reaches for me, I kind of slide between his legs and grab his wrists, and I'm going to try and just bend him all the way around and yank his arms between his legs, flip him over like a vaudeville villain.
Classic Pierre.
Hey, look out there.
The old Canadian, come see my lady. So, what they call it, right?
It is
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
Canadian listeners, clue us in on this. It's standard combat tactics in the Canadian armies.
Slide between their legs and kick them in the rump.
Okay, so Austin, that's difficulty 3.
Oh, does the momentum give me an extra die?
It can if you spend it.
Oh, okay.
Because this is basically a bonus action you're getting outside of the regular round order.
Yeah, okay. So I'll spend that momentum once again. I assume this is going to have to be my brawn.
Not necessarily. How are you? Depends on how you spin it.
I'd love to use my agility again for kind of using his momentum against him.
Well, I mean, since you described the old Canadian corkscrew.
Yeah, it's like a Canadian judo move.
Yeah. Well, everybody knows Canadian judo. We don't have to explain that to our audience. I mean, I think agility and fighting could work.
Okay, so that's a target number 13. 4, 5, and a 10.
Ach, mein Leben! And he goes flying off the wing, disappears in a cloud bank.
Hey, I see you later there, buddy.
Inside the plane, Operly, Sven, and Sarah are fighting amidst the crowded cargo bay of the DC-3 against a half dozen other Knockwolf troopers who blew a hole in the side of the plane and stormed inside to assassinate them and stop them from getting to Egypt. Todd, Corey, which one of you wants to go next?
Operly's pissed.
Yeah.
Okay.
He looks to the closest Knockwolf and psychically enters his mind and says,
You've gone boom boom on the noble name of Wolf.
Are you my Muta?
I am the Hound of Death.
Oh, not again.
Prepare to meet Jesus. And he's pissed too.
and Operly strikes with his metal jaws of fury.
Uh-huh.
So Operly leaps forward using his fighting and brawn. He's just going to attack. He's upset about the appropriation of the dog name.
Okay, it's difficulty 2.
Okay.
Appropriating dog culture.
His brawn's 11. His fighting is 3. Operly is bad fucking ass. I just can't get over how good he is.
He's really good.
Yeah.
Corey would just much rather be the dog.
Oh, and we did level up in between, and I gave Operly a focus in fighting. The focus of Get 'em, which increases his...
Get him.
It increases the crit range, so anything 3 and under is a crit now.
All right, nice.
It's a 1 and a 5.
Nice.
So total of 3 successes there.
Nice job, Corey.
So you only needed 2.
I didn't do it, God did it.
You want to bank that momentum?
So I'm going to bank that 1 momentum so we have some.
Alrighty. Yeah, roll your damage.
So this is Bite, which is normally 3 challenge die, but he gets +2 because he has these metal biting implants.
Yeah, he has
His retainer.
his equipment. Yeah.
Right. And it has piercing.
Oh, nice.
So remind me, Kyle, how damage works again?
So you...
These are D6s, correct?
Yeah, all the damage dice are D6s, or I think they're actually called challenge dice, though I may be mixing that up with another 2D20 system. So what you're looking to roll is if you roll a 1, that's 1 damage. If you roll 2, that's 2 damage. 3 and 4s count for nothing. 5 and 6 are also both 1 damage, but 5 and 6 are also 1 effect.
Right, so the piercing would come into play in there.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Or if there was any of, like, some guns might...
Rabies, perhaps.
Rabies.
Yeah.
A lot of guns have
I've had my fucking shots.
additional effects. Some things might have stun.
Yeah.
Vicious.
Okay, so rolling 5d6 here. So we got a 1 and 2 6s. The 4s don't count. So that's 2 effects and 1 damage. Total of 4 damage and 2 effects.
Now remember, the effects also do damage. The
Right.
5 and the 6 do 1 damage each and 1 effect each.
Yeah. Okay, so I got 3 damage and 2 effects
Okay.
of piercing, whatever that does.
Yeah.
Well, I know what it does in life.
It reduces armor.
Yeah, gives you a nice
So you can describe
accessory.
how Operly kills this man. Or perhaps merely incapacitates him if he's feeling merciful.
He's not. So Operly springs on this knocked wolf soldier, knocks him to the ground. Like, he goes up just like an excited dog. But he's
Sure.
already psychically threatened him, so the knocked wolf knows this isn't true. But just picture a German shepherd, like, leaping up at you to see you.
Sure.
You know? He just wants to see you. But he knocks the knocked wolf down to the ground, and he starts digging a hole, if you know what I mean. You know how dogs, those
Yeah.
front paws get going? And completely tears out his chest cavity.
Yeah, and a voice from the cockpit doors knocked open. Hey, dog, you better not be getting Nazi blood all over my plane. Mossy Pete keeps his plane clean.
Hey, we all good, Mossy Pete.
I like you, dog. I'll
Yeah.
give you a kibble later.
Everyone does.
Yeah.
Until they don't, like this gentleman.
Well, I didn't like him because he done blowed a hole in my plane, and the plane veers. Oh, shit, I spilled my beer. So, seeing his comrade so dispatched, one of the Knockwolf troopers aims his Sturmgewehr 44 at Operly and fires lots of bullets. Fully automatic weapons fire. Bullets going through the fuselage and through cargo, and not Operly because I rolled so terrible.
I have Jehovah on my side.
So it could be Sarah's turn, which is Corey's other PC, Todd or Austin. 'Cause still, Austin, technically that was a bonus action, so you haven't actually taken your turn this round.
Nope.
Which one of you wants to go next? Fran, Sarah, or Pierre.
How many of these knocked wolves?
There's 5 more in the cargo plane.
Sven's gonna pull out his Ithaca shotgun.
Yeah, pull it out. There's stuff flying all over the cargo plane, loose bits of paper being sucked out the hole that the Nazis blew in the fuselage.
And he's gonna aim at the nearest one.
All right.
So I will use coordination and fighting. My coordination is 9, my fighting is 2, so that's an 11.
Yar. So with the plane jerking and swerving, it's a difficulty 3.
Oof.
Oh, goodness. Can we say that the sight of Oberly straight fucking this dude up like is help and assist that will lower the difficulty number?
Yeah, if you want to spend that momentum, sure.
Okay, sure.
All right, spend that momentum, so
Yeah, make it a difficulty 2.
difficulty 2, okay. And my target number is an 11.
All right.
Fuck. I rolled a 15 and a 2.
So the Ithaca shotgun roars like an unchained beast,
Okay.
blasts out windows. The Nocturnal troopers.
That's
Yeah.
how the shotgun sounds.
Yeah.
I was
used-
wondering, Corey will play Flint the next time we play Eat the Reich.
I used my magics to make my shotgun sound like a banshee.
The Nocturnal troopers are ducking for cover, leaping down behind the seats. One of them rises up, pointing a Luger at Sven. So the shots go wide, hitting this seat that Sven's sitting in, ruining the upholstery. Watch you Nazi scumbags! And Austin, or, well, it could be Sarah or Pierre take the next turn.
All right, Walsh can go next.
Well, he is out on the wing.
He is.
Not the safest place in the world.
Looking after the Nazi he just threw off, Pierre turns and looks down. Are his magnetic boots still on the wing?
Do you have any momentum to spend?
No.
Okay, I'll take a threat. They're there.
Go for it. So, yeah, I look down and magnetic soles still attached to the wing, leather flapping in the wind. There's the boots. And Pierre slips them on and starts a long trudge back to the cabin of the plane.
It's the fucking Three Amigos. Gonna make it, gonna make it, gonna make it. Yeah, we really reached those Gen Z listeners.
We know our audience.
Okay, so I'm going to say, I think agility and maybe resilience
Agility and resilience works.
to get back quickly.
Okay, because what I want to do is take the Thompson that's slung around my shoulder and make it back inside the doorway so that I can mow down the rest of these Nazis.
So I'm going to say that's difficulty 2.
Okay, so my target number with agility and resilience is 12.
He looks like Mr. Heavyfoot from Kids in the Hall. Know what I'm saying, 22-year-olds?
You guys might think I don't get the 80s references, but oddly enough, I get most of them.
Well, you're the oldest one.
In spirit,
In
yes.
so many ways.
For those wondering, I am by far the youngest.
Fuck off.
All right, trying to beat a 12.
Don't worry, if you don't get it, we'll give it to you anyway, because your generation can't fucking lose.
Oh, there's a participation crit, Austin.
I rolled an 8 and a 9.
That's okay. That's good. Yeah. What, target number like 11 or 12 or something?
12.
Yeah, you did great, Austin.
Thanks. So Mossy Pete slings the plane to the left. The boots come unlatched. You fly through the doorway, and there's that moment where you're almost, perfectly weightless, flying through the cargo bay,
Hey, look out.
and you can take a shot.
So this is going to be coordination and fighting,
Yeah.
which is a total target number of 14. That's a 7 and an 8.
All right. Roll your damage.
All right. I get a bonus damage for having a high coordination, so I'm adding a +1 to the 5 damage die I already get for the Thompson.
Brutal.
All right, couple of nulls, but 1, a 2, and a 5. So 4 damage with 1 effect.
What's the effect on the Thompson?
Area stun.
But
So-
that's just if you do a salvo or something, right? If you just completely unload the clip. Is that correct?
Yeah, a salvo is a mechanic where if you empty the clip, fire all the bullets, it will have a certain additional effect than what it normally does.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
But that's the kind of thing you have to call ahead of time, which I did not do.
right, gotcha.
So, for example, the a Luger pistol has a salvo of vicious. So if you fire all the bullets in the clip, it has the vicious quality, basically.
It's okay. We still like you, Austin.
Thanks.
Yeah.
But you did miss one of the Nachtwolf troopers. Just filled him full of lead. Body slumps, and then, given the way the plane is flying, slams into the ceiling, smears down the wall, and is just tracking blood everywhere.
He's just up against the wall. Just every time the plane banks, he's just smearing more and more.
You see Mossy Pete looking back, his big scraggly beard. Oh, damn it! I'm going to have to wash that now. So one of the Nazis leaps through the air, pirouetting towards Pierre. So Austin, he's lunging towards you. He's fighting. He's trying to grapple you in midair. He's got 2 successes.
Oh, okay.
So you need to defend if you
right.
want.
No, I don't think I will.
Okay, I'll just roll damage.
No, I'm going to make an agility and fighting again to try and outmaneuver him in the air.
Alrighty.
Am I still kind of airborne, or have I slumped against the wall by this point?
Oh, you guys are Apollo 13ing it.
Cool. So Pierre is going to make an attempt to just kind of like corkscrew between his outstretched arms.
There you go.
All right, so total target number 13.
The old Canadian whippoorwill is what they call it.
That is a 3 and that's a 16. So only 1 success there.
This Nachtwolf trooper slams into Pierre, and the 2 of you go tumbling down into the floor. You take 2 points of stress.
Yeah, get off.
Corey, Sarah is the only one left.
All right, time for the less popular main character that Corey's playing to go. Even though I'm technically the main character, the dog's better. Now I know how Shaggy feels. So, how many Nazis are left here?
There's 4 total in the cargo bay. One of them is rolling around on the ground fighting Pierre. 1 just shot at Sven, and 2 others are in the back near the hull that's blown out through the fuselage, and they are loading a rocket launcher.
Oh, God.
All right.
One of them just slid a rocket in and then patted the other on the head, and you hear a muffled ACHTUNG!
I was talking shit about I don't know where her character sheet is. I've got Oprah front and ready. Got Sarah. And how far away the Rocket Boys from me?
Well, so this is a cargo plane from the 30s. It's not exactly a 747.
Right, it's the size of a Cadillac, pretty much.
Basically.
I can jump in the back seat and get them.
So 20 feet.
So I can reach them.
Yeah, you could get to them.
Sarah's going to try to stop the man with the rocket launcher.
Okay.
She's going to cartwheel her way back to the end of the plane.
Good idea.
As Australians do.
Yeah.
She's going to attempt to use her trench knife to stab him before he can fire the rocket.
That's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
So they're stationary to try to aim this at the cockpit, so it's just going to be difficulty 1.
Okay, Sarah's going to use her fighting and brawn. Her brawn's an 11. Her fighting's a 4. And she has focuses in close quarters and hand-to-hand. I think both of these apply here.
Nice.
Yeah.
So that makes the crit range 4 or under. Got a 17 and a 16. Forgot I didn't know how to cartwheel.
She just flies right out the hole.
You could use fortune to re-roll, but remember, it does not renew each session, so.
She has 3 fortune. She ain't using that shit.
Okay.
If she dies, her dog will avenge her. She's not concerned about this. And the dog knows Jesus. Probably bring her back.
Good point.
Maybe.
Well reasoned.
It's what he's into. Motherfucker comes back. It'll just be 3 days.
So the only people that have enacted the scene are these 2 troopers, so one of them is going to attempt to assist the other on firing this weapon. He rolled an 8, so that's 1 success, and they're firing it at which one of you? They're firing it at Sven and his terrifying shotgun. Ooh, well, that's a 20. And that's a 17. He failed.
It's pointed the wrong way.
Oh, it's definitely pointed back.
And he doesn't get to use the success from the other guy assisting him because he botched it so badly. So it is pointing the other way. The rocket fires, and it blasts the trooper behind him into gibbets. Those splatter all across the back of the cargo plane. Mossy Pete is yelling from the cockpit. Not another Nazi exploded my plane! And he's covered in blood, drops the rocket. Oh, I'm so sorry. So sorry. All in German, of course. Top of the round, which one of you wants to go first?
Sven will go.
Oh, so what will Sven do?
Sven says, apologies to my friends, Pierre, Operly, and Shara, what was I thinking using a shotgun in this situation when I have access to Mjolnir, the hammer of Thor?
Hello.
You hear someone shouting from, no, don't do that, no hammer and Thor again, Sven. Last time it took me a week to get the knots of brains out of the carpet.
I apologize, Mossy Pete, but you must prepare yourself for the turbulence of the gods.
Oh, Mama's gonna be so mad. All right, Todd, I assume you're summoning.
He's summoning the hammer of
Yeah.
Thor.
Turbulence of the gods.
How do we find so many opportunities to introduce old prospector types?
They're the best character type.
I mean,
And Patreon members keep giving us names that are so appropriate. What the hell else am I going to do with Mossy Pete? That is Mossy Pete. That is an old curmudgeon name if I've ever heard one. And that's the only type of person allowed to fly planes during World War II. Civilian planes.
Well, and Jacques.
Well-
I hate snakes, Jock.
Well, but see, that was in the 30s. That was pre-war.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, Jock was conscripted in 1941. Sadly, lost his life at Midway. Some expanded Indiana Jones universe.
Midway to what?
next week we'll be like, okay, what new patrons do we have? And there'll be someone named Gabby. And like, fuck!
All right, Todd. So the spell gives you the difficulty number, right? If I recall correctly.
Correct. The Hammer of Thor uses the skill of fighting. It is a difficulty 2. The cost is 3 Cthulhu Drain.
Right, yeah. So you'll have to roll 3 challenge dice to basically take stress damage,
Yes.
whether the spell is successful or not.
It is piercing 1. It's an attack spell. It targets a single enemy or object within medium range and inflicts power +4 damage upon its target with the area effect. And it also does damage to those close by.
Oh.
So I'll say you can hit the 2 Nocturnal Troopers there in the back. You could hit the one rolling around on the floor fighting Pierre, but that would also involve Pierre. But I'm okay with that.
I'm gonna let Pierre take care of that guy. I'm just gonna focus on the 2 in
Alrighty.
the back. I will be using, along with fighting, the attribute of will, so that is a total of 11.
Alrighty.
Well, that's a 12 and a 15, so I'm going to spend a fortune.
All right.
A 2 and an 18.
So you failed, but let's roll your drain first.
So that's 3d6.
Yeah.
1, a 2, and a 5, so that's 4.
So you take 4 stress.
Yes.
So I'll tell you what. So normally the spell wouldn't really have any effect. It will have an effect if you want to give me some threat.
How many threats would you like?
Oh, like 10. But I'll settle for 2.
You can have 2 threat.
So for a moment, the sky outside the plane turns dark. There's a rumble of thunder that rattles everything. Then a bolt of lightning arcs through the sky, straight towards the DC-3 and the 2 troopers in the back, but the Noctwolf plane, shadowing it from behind, gets in the way and is blasted into smithereens. And one of the troopers leaning out, "Oh, Fritz and Gunther," looking at falling pieces of Noctwolf plane. "You're going to pay for that!"
These Nazis are awful attached to each other.
Because they understand the power of friendship. The trooper in the back is shooting at Sven with his STG-44. And that's going to be 1 success, Todd. So this guy is advancing on Sven, screaming, "I'm going to miss Eric and Luther!" Firing bullets, just whizzing past Sven's head. So, Corey, Austin, it's one of you guys can take a turn with one of your 3 characters.
Hey, Operly, you want to sick him? And Pierre is going to kind of, as he's wrestling this Nazi on the floor, he's going to kind of roll until he's on the bottom and just push the Nazi kind of up by the throat and kind of offer him up for Operly to come running in to attack.
So basically, you're going to do an assist roll for
Yeah.
an Operly attack. Okay.
All right. So roll your assist.
Okay?
I'm still digging.
So this is just going to be me rolling 1 die with agility and fighting.
Correct.
One day I will get all the way to Satan and confront him.
My target numbers are 13. Oh, that's a 20.
Well, that is a complication. So the complication being the Nazi that is wrestling with Pierre, the Nocturnal Trooper. We're going to spend some threat for him to get some extra dice. As Pierre's trying to position him, he knees Pierre right in the groin.
Okay, so I just take some damage.
Well, maybe. We're going to see how his dice turn out.
I love how Austin always creates his own little realities out there. I have a ring that has magic powers.
So your complication did reduce your defenses. So he needs you, and he's pulling out a knife to try to stab you. You can potentially dodge with agility and athletics.
Don't have any athletics, but I do have agility 10.
There you go. He's got one success coming at you.
Okay. Ooh, that's a 1.
Atta girl.
So,
From the bottom to the top. Right?
Yeah.
One after the other.
so that's a crit. You just need one, so you can bank a momentum.
Okay.
So the knife goes through your coat and gets caught in your sleeve. You guys are wrestling for it. Corey,
It's my favorite card, you hoser.
Corey, it's your turn.
So there's the guy Pierre's wrestling, and what else? What other objectives?
There's 2 other Nocturnal troopers shooting at Sven. The others are dead or blown up by friendly fire. That was unfriendly. Mossy Pete shouted, "I'm going to put this plane on the ground in Cairo, and I'm going to charge y'all a cleaning fee. This is like an Airbnb. You want to take out the trash?
Literal Airbnb.
You going? It's what I'm calling. Why'd you say it like that? That's what I'm calling it. Mossy Pete's air, bed, and seat. Ain't no breakfast up in this some bitch. I'm kidding. I have Beatles.
Of course he has
Air, bed, and Boeing.
Okay, so Austin was unsuccessful getting the guy on top of him, correct?
Correct.
Okay, well, he's pinned.
It is not an ideal position, but the guy's not in the best place in the world for him.
Right. Openly's going to run over with dog-like enthusiasm. It's kind of bounding, really.
Makes sense.
This could mean everything from he sprints over to he saunters over within 20 minutes and sniffs a couple of
No,
times.
at first he turns around and then goes. He's real pumped about killing this man.
Oh.
Openly's going to attack the man pinned beneath Austin. What's the difficulty here?
It's just difficulty 1. This guy can't really move to dodge or anything.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm holding him down.
Gotcha. So again, it's brawn and fighting. So target number 14. 2 and a 6, and he has a focus of get 'em of 3. So that's 3 successes.
Nice. Well, you can bank 2 momentum.
I will do that.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Roll your dice for damage.
Good boy.
He's actually using the metal jaws of doom again,
Sure.
but he's tossed them down to his groin, and he's going to hump the guy's head. As a dog does, you know?
Yeah.
But he's not in a horny way. He's just trying to kill him in the most easy way
I get it.
for a dog.
I'm trying to imagine him just tossing these things down to the...
Well, he's been with them for a while. He knows how to use them. Ugh, 3 3s, got a 1 and a 6, so it's 2 damage, 1 effect of piercing.
That's enough. These guys do not have a lot of hit points.
Okay. He humps the man's head to death.
It explodes like an overripe melon.
Well, that's not what I had in mind, but good boy there, Operly.
The Nocturnal Trooper who had accidentally eviscerated his comrade is advancing on Sven, but the one previously who had been almost shotgunned, he looks around, looks at all his dead comrades, shakes his head, leaps out the side of the plane, and you see he descends from him and then a poof of parachute. He is noping the fuck out of this.
So there's just one Nazi left?
Yeah, it's Sarah's turn.
And Sarah's right by him, right?
Yep.
Well, Sarah's going to attack him.
Okay.
Safe to say.
This comes as something of a surprise.
I thought we were cool.
Do you not want to debate in the marketplace of ideas?
She's going to use her brawn and fighting, which is target number 15 again. And
All right.
she does have her close quarters and hand-to-hand. She is jumping on this man.
It's all close quarters in this plane.
Sure. So target number 15. 7 and a 6, so 2 successes.
You actually needed a 43. Oh, no. Right.
Son of a-
Yeah, that works. You just needed 1, so you can bank a momentum.
Okay,
Okay.
I'll do that. She's going to grab a grenade from her belt,
Oh.
take his helmet off, place the grenade underneath the helmet, replace the helmet, and kick him out the back of the plane. G'day.
So there's the Wilhelm scream, and then a muffled explosion.
That does stun him as well. I just want to
Oh. Well, he wasn't dead, but now that he's stunned, Mossy Pete looks back. You guys are the worst passengers I ever had, but you pay on time. So the plane finishes the final leg of its journey over the western desert. Cairo, Egypt. You land safely in the evening at Cairo airport. Dusty collection of runways and outbuildings. Of course, at this stage in the war, full of British Spitfire fighters and bombers.
Yeah, we all know this because there's been so many like films about the African portion of the war. You know, it's just such a popular. What is that? Why is there no like World War II stuff about the Africa fighting? I mean, Patton.
Yeah, Patton. It takes
that's
there's a
the
little bit.
name of the one and the only movie was the Africa during World War II.
My guess is probably because John Wayne was racist.
There you go.
Probably. Now there was a show about the SAS that came out, and there was some stuff in North Africa on that. But I never,
Get Smart.
No, that just came out recently.
Yeah, but typically you don't see a lot of that. But whatever.
No, it was one of my area of major emphasis in World War II and in college.
Okay.
I love the North African.
Well, this
campaign.
better be good then.
We'll never interface with it beyond this adventure. No.
No, but there is things like World War II. You don't hear a lot about the Eastern Front fights because of our issues with the Soviets after. But the Eastern Front was a fantastic and interesting, like, fantastic's the wrong word. A million people died. But
way more than that. So
just a dazzling aspect of the war.
Just a dandy of a ruckus.
I do believe there is now this trilogy of history books on World War II from, like, I think William Atkinson, and the first book in his trilogy is strictly on the African front.
Okay.
Yeah, North Africa is a really interesting campaign. It's back and forth a lot, but I don't want to derail, but
No, it's already been done.
yeah, I blame you, actually.
Yes, I agree.
So the plane lands at the Cairo airport. By the way, in terms of time period, this is late fall, almost winter of 1939. Poland has fallen, and the phony war dominates Europe, though it does not dominate the war at sea, which German U-boats sinking an increasing amount of, at this point, mainly British shipping. France is still in the war. The fall of France doesn't happen until June of 1940, so you've got 6 or 7 more months of that. And the war in Africa has not yet started because Italy hasn't entered the war yet. So while Egypt is a major focal point for the British Empire and is slowly becoming more and more militarized, it doesn't have that city under siege mentality that it will gain when Rommel's tanks get close in 1941.
No, right now it's just kind of a fulcrum of power.
Yes, it is just the axis around which the British Middle Eastern wheel turns.
Quick question.
Yes.
Has Hitler sent Nazis there to find the Ark of the Covenant yet?
That actually happens, I believe, in 1937 or 36.
Oh, okay.
In the Indiana Jones style. That is pre-war, for sure. So yes, that's already happened. But you are here because of the information that Chief Majestic Researcher Dr. Kevin Patton was able to glean from the information you retrieved in Rome and Vienna. He believes that a major component of this ancient Atlantean device that you're hunting down might be found somewhere in Egypt. Specifically, he believes the city of Amarna, which was once Akhetaten in ancient Egypt, which means the horizon of Aten.
It's where Luke lives in The Last Jedi.
Yep. Yeah. So it's known that the Deutsche Orientgesellschaft, the DOG, a German...
really?
Yeah.
Don't worry, I will infiltrate.
That was the German pre-World War I archaeological organization that did a lot of research in this area. They had been
You would have
excavating.
think they would have named it DIG. Just saying.
That would have been smart. They did a lot of digging in Amarna. It's not clear that they found anything significant, but before the war started, it was known to Majestic that there were Nachtwolf groups excavating Amarna. Now, supposedly the British shut all that down, but no one is under any illusions that the Nachtwolf have left Egypt completely. So what you're looking for now is a patent called the Life Giver. It is an artifact that is shaped like a golden disc fashioned to look like the sun. It's about 2 feet wide.
So in the last arc, we found like a crystal shield of some kind, I believe. We're basically
Yes.
Horcruxing right now.
You're Horcruxing.
We're trying to find elements from
Yeah.
Atlantis of this mythical thing.
Yeah, you got the shield from the catacombs in Rome, and
Yeah.
this time you're looking for basically a golden sun disk. with Egyptian motifs, which the Egyptians added to it. It's an Atlantean, ancient Atlantean device.
Right. Golden Sun Disc. It's got Jerry Lee Lewis.
Yeah.
And Johnny Cash on it.
And so
I know you're out there, Gen Z.
Hey, where you at, our Memphis listeners?
Patton believes the life giver, which was likely the power source of the ancient Atlantean Palladion device, is somewhere in Amarna, or at least that's where his research points to. But he wants you to seek out a perhaps more knowledgeable local contact, codenamed Lorab, for Patreon member Laura B.
Thank you, Laura.
Nice.
Majestic is keeping all the details of Lorab secret until you can meet with them at the Blythe Manders house, a private residence in Cairo, owned by an Englishman.
No way.
Yep, turns out, named Aloysius Blythe Manders, older English gentleman.
Sounds Egyptian to me.
Yeah. Took to the environs of Cairo, refurbished a residence there, and has his staff on grounds.
I.e., probably did not pay for it.
Subjugated the locals.
Yes.
Well, they couldn't take the house back, so he decided to stay here. But you don't know if Lorab is Blythe Manders or someone else in his household. You also have a number of contacts that you can rely on in the local British Army or Royal Navy if you need support. But of Section D operating in Egypt, you have no information. Section D being the British equivalent of Majestic.
Well, I do think it would be worth, at some point, consulting with the British Army or the Royal Navy, whichever one was involved in originally running the Knocked Wolf out of Amarna, because they may have a little bit of insight as to where they were already digging. But I do think the priority right now is to try and make contact with codename Lorab.
For Sven, the priority right now is shedding these fucking clothes. How do you people live in this fucking heat?
You don't always need to wear a pocket, mate.
So, Austin, your British Army contact is Major Nathaniel Cole. Name for Patreon member, Nathaniel Cole. Yeah, that one's an easy one. All right, where do you guys want to go first? You could get a hotel, do some drinking.
Do we know where this manor's at?
Yeah, you have basic directions to the Blythe Manders house.
I mean, to me, it makes sense to go straight to the contact and then talk to any military people, etc. after that.
Let's do that. Maybe they have an icebox.
And we can crash on the couch instead of paying for a hotel.
So, do we have any pretext as far as like how we could approach this place?
I'll go in through the front. Do a little knocking.
Well, I mean, are there any channels we could go through where we could kind of acquire an actual purpose to go to this manor?
I say we send the dog in first.
Do they have a doggy door?
Pertinent question.
They only have a camel door. It's bigger than a person door, actually.
The guy collects camels.
The people have a people door. The camels go in through.
So I'll make this compromise. If we get checked into a hotel where we've got a base of operations established,
Do the proprietors, does the Aloysius man, does he know we're coming?
You know that your contact knows you're coming, but you don't know if this English gentleman is your contact or not.
okay. So that's kind of why I'm talking about trying to find a pretext to be able to go to this manor. But I will suggest this as kind of a compromise. If we get checked into the hotel and kind of establish our own base of operations, Kyle, could I send a telegram off to our contact in the British Army and let him know what our objective is and see, number one, if he can help us, and if not, we can find our own way to the manor.
Or we could go straight to the army guy instead of telegramming him, because that'll take weeks.
You could send him a telegram, sure. So the hotel you've been recommended is the Shepherd's Hotel.
Quick aside, The Aloysius Man is my favorite John le Carré novel.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, in the search for pretext to be able to approach the manor, maybe we could just approach our contact with the British Army first, just to see if he knows anything about Aloysius.
Okay, well, let's do that.
Okay, so you head to the Qasr El Nil Barracks, which is a British Army base in Egypt. So there's a wide shot of all these drab buildings and tents and vaguely khaki uniformed soldiers running around in companies and lots of tin hut blah blah in the background.
Sven is shirtless.
Sure, not the only one at this time.
Dear Lord, your nipples are pink. Have they never seen the sun, mate?
And you're led to a dusty building with a number of tables set around where officers are reading reports. You hear the clack of typewriters and coffee being poured somewhere nearby. Well, it would be tea. This is the British Army, not the American one.
I can barely hear anything over this tea being poured.
And you're taken into Major Cole's office. And, well, sit down, lads. How can I help you?
Hey, how you doing there, Major?
Damn fine.
I'm glad to hear it.
He's a big, heavy-set man, very neatly trimmed mustache, leering at you a bit. You're not sure if that's just his gentlemanly way or if there's something wrong with him.
Well, through gin-soaked eyes, I'm sure.
Well, this is the British Army in World War II, of course. He's drunk.
Yeah, so we wanted to make contact with you. We've just got a couple of questions for you.
Ha! Carry on.
First question. Hi, my name is Sven Nielsen. I am from Norway, and my first question would be, where is there a fan and some herring for me to eat?
Well, there should be fans at the Shepherd's. I recommend it. Herring. Pickled herring. Mother used to put it in my pudding. When I was a schoolboy. Little bit of pickled herring.
Yes, it's delicious.
I could have a few tins sent over.
Thank you, sir.
I'm pretty sure they're rotted.
That's fine. I have magics to make them tasty.
Oh, you silly, silly Norwegians.
So, yeah, first of all, we heard the British Army was involved with running the Nachtwolf out of the dig site over there at Amarillo or whatever it was.
Oh, there was some German archaeologists in Marna. Yeah, we bundled them up and packed them on their way.
Where were they trying to dig?
So, a small town about halfway to Thebes.
Here, if we laid out this map for you, could you mark the spots where they had been digging?
Perhaps someone more local commander could give you that sort of information, lad.
Well, if you can point us in that direction, we'd be much obliged.
He points to the south.
Go!
Such a general vicinity.
Openly, come back.
And the second question we have for you is, do you know anything about this man named Blythe Manders?
Aha! Damn fine man, yes.
Oh, yeah, we heard he's a stand-up chap. What's he known for around here?
Oh, well, old retired army engineer, has been living in Cairo as long as anyone has. He's a bit of a reputation as an inquisitive. Likes to buy knick-knacks and old things he thinks are old antiquities. He's got a big collection in his house, but rubbish if you ask me. A bit old and daft, but a good chap. Very fine liquor cabinet.
Is he a friend to the military?
Well, yeah, he's a retired British Army officer, so of course.
Was he also involved in running the Nachtwolf out of Egypt?
Blythe Manders has been out of the game for quite some time, old boy. He was a great war veteran.
I see what you're driving at.
Could you arrange for us to meet up with him?
Well, I suppose I could. Are you collectors yourselves, eh?
I'm sure he doesn't have many friends.
But yes, we're interested parties. We're anthropologists looking for artifacts ourselves.
Ah, well, that's fine. Yes, I'll have a boy. And he yells for an orderly, and he starts scrawling down a hasty message. Take this to Blythe Manders, and tell him that these Americans are coming to visit him.
We're not Americans.
That's fine.
We got a dog, though.
Oh, well, good.
If you'd like to pet him, it's allowed.
I don't touch animals.
And I guess I'm the closest thing to an American, but still not.
I will kill this man.
I hope to be an American someday.
Yes, well, best of luck.
Yeah, thank you, Major.
Oh, don't worry. Americans will always be friendly to immigrants.
Yes, fare thee well, and Godspeed. God save the king.
The camera pans back. We're already gone. He's just talking to no one.
We cut to the three of you, Shepherd's Hotel, around the bar, glasses of water, fans that the
I
Norwegian.
picture Oprah Lee sitting at the bar, like,
Yeah.
paw on his chin, like...
Another day, another dollar.
One of the hotel staff
Damn this war.
brings in the seventh fan that the Norwegian requested. Yes. They're just arranged around him. And they're muttering about, it's not even that hot yet.
He spent all his money on Egyptian boys to fan him with palm fronds.
They didn't have any herring, but they're feeding him caviar. He's just talking about it like it's shit.
Just lick your balls, my dear friend.
All right, so then I guess we'll be headed to this Manders house next time.
Yeah, you get a letter not long thereafter inviting you to dinner at the home of Aloysius Blythe Manders, retired Army. You're invited to dinner to tour his collection.
All right, folks, we're in.
We will have the dinner next session.
Do we have any idea what the courses are going to be like?
Okay.
Hopefully some herring.
They have kibble.
Probably open with a salad.
Yeah,
Well, no, it probably wouldn't. It would probably have, especially at this time in history, definitely would have had an Egyptian chef. I'll have to do some research on Egyptian dishes from 1939.
yeah. Just
Sure.
If you got time, it'd be great.
I don't, but I will because now I can't stop thinking about it.
Better be fucking good.
Yeah.
So yeah, well, it's nice to be back in ACHTUNG Cthulhu. Nice to be back with the 2D20 system. I missed
Yeah,
it.
I think Star Trek was the last time we played 2D20.
I believe you're right.
Yeah, it's a good system.
It's
I
a
like
great system. Absolutely fantastic. There's little differences in each one, but like Austin said, ACHTUNG Cthulhu may be the best one.
Yeah,
in
It's
our
definitely
minds.
my favorite.
It is. I like all these characters that we have as well.
Sure.
And just the whole setting of World War II and Cthulhu stuff. It's
very cool.
It's a great
And
combination.
We still need to check into Cohor's Cthulhu that just came out, the Roman Empire version.
Yeah, I believe I think the quick start guide came out. I don't think the full game is out yet, is it?
Totally not sure on that. Do you have a degree in that too?
No.
Well, we've already played in Rome, so you
Yeah.
should have the gist.
Yeah, it's true.
All right, well, that's our adventure in ACHTUNG Cthulhu for this week.
I'd like to thank our sponsor, Barrel and Bond, 100 Broadway Street in beautiful downtown Paducah, right there on the banks of the Ohio River.
Barrel and Bond. Maybe that is the secret of Lorab. Is that Lorab backwards is barrel.
They have small plates, including herring.
Took a second. You're wrong.
I'm glad you thought about it longer than 5 seconds.
Welcome to Barrel and Bond.
Balrog and Bond. There's a Balrog you must defeat before you can pee.
Maybe that's my fault. I wrote Lorab, Lorab.
Still wrong.
Oh, yeah, I'm not
Austin,
correct.
are you on Lore Tab right now?
Oh, Lorab from Pfizer.
Also, we play games that require dice, and if you want dice, there's no finer dice than the dice at NorseFoundry.com.
Yeah, they got metal dice. They've got other dice.
Dice of every imaginable material, and if you use...
I don't think
Code-
that's true. It's like,
No, it's true. They have
there's no
unobtainium.
hypothetical.
They have unobtainium dice.
Got
I
it,
want a
got it.
die made from the bone of the Cyclops. Odysseus approved dice.
Right.
I mean, I would buy that actually.
They will turn your deceased relatives into dice.
And shoot it into a star.
The neutronium die from
Right.
Norse Foundry.
At checkout, if you type in the letters CHAM, that's CHAM, you'll get 10% off.
And for the purposes of actual promotion, they don't do that.
But they do have metal dice.
Yes, they got really cool shit.
They're metal.
Yeah. Well, thank you for listening to Bastard Quest. We do appreciate it. We appreciate our Patreon members, a couple of which were featured in this episode. If you would like to be featured as an NPC that's probably going to die horribly, then join our Patreon. And if you want to join our Patreon but you don't want to be featured, that is acceptable.
Yeah,
just tell us.
Just shoot us a message saying no thanks.
Yeah.
Or provide the name of your ex-wife.
Yeah.
And
We'll put
kill
her
the-
in there.
We'll kill the shit out of that person. Ex-wife, husband, whatever. We'll
Whatever.
kill them all. Yeah.
Arch nemesis.
High school principal.
In the game.
Yeah, not in real life. Not anymore.
Pastor.
We had some legal issues.
Yeah,
We
there
had
were,
to stop.
there were complaints.
Anyway, thanks for listening.
No, fuck that. I'll kill a man. For your patronage.
All right. Thanks. I'm Kyle.
I'm Todd.
Corey.
I'm Austin.